present. And so go ahead, my friend. What is your first name? Dan Wickens. This is Dan Wickens.
Thank you everyone so much for coming to this event, some of you from very far away. In 10 seconds, my name is Dan Wickens. Enlisted, I was a Marine infantryman, and then when I went to the dark side and became an officer, I was an intelligence officer. So for the lawyers in the room, we have to explain, of course, our task organization. Veterans for America First. It is a civil liberties organization, and it created a charitable effort, a 501c3 called We Who Served Foundation. The We Who Served Foundation is creating its first charitable outreach program. It is called Civilian 101. To look at this overarching, it's really nothing more complicated than two key things. If you can take away two key things from this today. One is, without going into all the wars that are going on in the world and all of America's enemies, there's one thing that all of America's enemies know that they have to do to defeat the United States, and that is to remove God from America. They have to get rid of our faith, they have to get rid of Christianity. So what we are attempting to do is nothing more complicated than bringing the military back to God, and as a consequence, we are giving churches around the nation a new army, so to speak, as we unite military members that are separating from military service, and we connect them with a church anywhere in the country. So conceivably, every organization in this room could benefit from this or participate from this. Now, how do we do that? In one sense, it's very simple, but it's never been done. Whether you're a FBI agent who's retiring as a first responder, or whether you're a member of the military who's transitioning to become a veteran, you have transition classes and you say, okay, you're gonna go here, you need to do this and this and this. What we will do is we'll integrate ourselves into that transition process, and if, say you have a soldier from Brooklyn who's coming back to Brooklyn, or maybe they're going somewhere unfamiliar, maybe they're going to Manhattan or whatever. I'm from Montana, so the size of all this is rather amazing to me. But the bottom line is if they go somewhere unfamiliar, they say, okay, soldier, your first mission, of course, is to connect with this church. Your second mission is to make sure that they help you engage in troop welfare. Every single military person is going to understand that, and they're going to treat that as a tasker. So they're going to go there, they're going to link up with the church, and the church is going to say, okay, so you're a kid that went from high school straight into the military, and you've never had a civilian job interview before. And then the kid's going to be like, yes, that's correct. And they're going to say, okay, well, do you know what business attire is? And they're going to say no. And they're going to say, oh, no, we're going to help you. We're going to connect you with all the resources and organizations that are going to make your transition effective and easy, and we're going to establish a connection with you. We're going to make you a part of our community. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to have them coming to church every week or something like that. We will have volunteers that are trained, that will have packets of information, but they will connect with those military members. So churches around the entire country, rather than everyone needing to reach out, especially in a time like with COVID where we're not allowed to reach out in many cases, we will essentially be helping those churches do that mission work by feeding them veterans. That's it in a nutshell. What that does, of course, is it strengthens the churches, it strengthens every military member, and it builds this sense of community far above and beyond just a military person making sure that they know how to pay their bills or, apply for a job. It builds new families, and it creates instant outreach for any ministry, as well as it helps the transitioning veterans. We actually have an example of someone, again, another member of our organization. Some of you may know her, Zan Luna. And she's going to talk about how much she would have benefited from a program like this when she was transitioned.
I know that we're running behind, so I'll just say real quick, I'm a 100% disabled combat Marine Corps veteran. I'm here from Albuquerque, New Mexico, never been to New York, so thank you for all the warm welcomes from everybody. Thank you, Giuliani's representative. I know he'll be here later as well. Thank you for representing our organization as well. And to everybody else out there that supports veterans, I just wanted to say when I was presented with this, the Civilian 101 program, I would have given anything in my day when I got out in 2009 transitioning. People don't realize how hard it is for people that get out of the military, and you've been taught and given everything from food, and all your utilities are paid, you know, housing and stuff like that, for people that live in the barracks their whole enlistment, that they have no idea. And that's one of the things that he wasn't able to address real quick, is how this can actually affect the suicide rate. That's one of the biggest things that affects veterans or transitioning service members when they get out of the services. It's just overwhelming. They don't know how to get a job. They don't know how to sign up for college, get, you know, all these different types of services. So what this does is it provides that one person contact that has these basically communications and outreach with all of these types of organizations that veterans need for a positive transition. So in a nutshell, that's what it is. And I'm excited for this, and this is actually the first time that we've presented it. So if any of you would like to help out and reach out and support our organization, please go to VFAF.org. That's veteransforamericafirst.org.
Do you have a table
We didn't. I flew in from Albuquerque, and it was like a last minute thing for us. So,
Yeah.
We're all
but
here
like
at
I
the
said,
table.
you can reach it where our table is right here. We've got Dan and myself, and then so any other questions. But again, the website is vfaf.org.